The state motorcade has the right of way.
So who is supposed to arrest them? Those who
the Prime Minister, the Speaker of Parliament, the Chief Justice. Those are the rules. Then we have the emergency vehicles. And these are police and military vehicles on emergency. It's not that I have a police vehicle, it is an emergency. That's not correct. I don't, as a director of traffic, I don't think anyone has a record, if you know where I stay, that I've ever jumped the queue. Even when I was coming, I don't park here. I park mine at CPS. I don't park here because I'm not providing parking here. I know who has parking. Now, I would like you to get interested in how these sirens are imported in this country. Who imports them? Because even here, members of Parliament, whereas I applaud you for giving assistance in emergency response, because most of you have ambulances, and I thank you for having them supplement the emergency response. But they also do have sirens, and put on those beacons, and when you have not passed through the proper way of making them emergency vehicles, and they may not meet the standards of emergency vehicles, but you have sirens of them. We are considering, Honorable Chair, that the sirens are a security component and they should not be imported by anyone. Now, if you are to import, it should be someone that you allow to import, and then they are for emergency purposes. And there we can control the siren. But, honorable members, I want to assure you, this is something we can stop with immediate effect. If you allow vehicle inspection to be housed in police, vehicle inspection, mandatory vehicle inspection will remove all this garbage in our fleet, in the whole country. We shall remove unwanted things which they have mounted on our vehicles, and this mandatory inspection usually is done annually or twice in a year. No one will fit those sirens if he or she knows we are going to pass through, they are going to pass through that mandatory inspection of vehicles. It is unfortunate that as I speak now, this is not yet done. And we shall never improve road safety if we do not do vehicle inspection and housing in the police force. It is the police force that pursues, can take you to court, but house it somewhere. If there is a contestation between those inspections, then the police has to come in as an arbiter and must have superior equipment to sort out the contestation. I would like to appeal to you, honorable members, that even when we were discussing other issues concerning concerning the theft. Sometimes a car or a goat or a pig is conveyed. This is the means of conveyance. So now, if we are to move forward, we need to do the two things. Automation of all police services. We have talked about automation for so long. When did the CCTV cameras come here? I was here in 2007 when we had Choga. We installed the cameras in this city center. Had we continued at that pace, most of these issues we are talking here would not be now an issue to deliberate. If we automate our systems, for example, if you have a farm of 50 animals, you may have a chip to put in your cows, and when this cow is going to be slaughtered somewhere, it will be known. It's like a tracking system. Some other countries have done so.
But sir,
You are talking to a political area. Let me ask you. Somebody, you are in a queue. I stand in China. Okay? Somebody puts a siren and bypasses everyone. Now that requires automation. And in front there is a policeman, traffic man, just stands by and see this man just goes out. And yes, let me ask you, you have your own internal communication, I can see them. You can even ring the other officer, stop that vehicle. Before you think about automation, this menace on the road, you over-deploy. Normally in the morning when I'm traveling, they put passengers, they check the light, they can take the thing, and they tell you walk out. This menacing, automation is given. I'm not arguing, but this indiscipline is visible, witnessed by your officers of traffic. They are all over.
Mr. Chairman, when the bosses of police
Do they need the cameras? Do they have eyes?
Mr. Chairman, even when the bosses of police are moving, they bypass, they drive on the wrong way, then you ask yourself, what law are they protecting now? Are they really law enforcers or they are law breakers? And then you want to be given permission. What mandate don't you have to prosecute anyone who breaks the law? You want you to be housed there. How about working together as government agencies?
Chair, the other officer who introduced herself as in charge NTR. NTR here. Out there, we are time set by a speaker and maybe also move on specific assignments. But we also benefit by seeing how the roads there move and how the vehicles move. Any mistake out is relevant to the government. Any person who bypasses from Kereka, Nakawa and so on, those would be 5 tickets. 5 tickets. And all of us would stop. So your automation should lead us to see that anyone who is bypassing is being given a ticket time and again. When they don't pay the cars out, I found it. This service, we are going to tackle 2.7. This service is being extended to your aircraft. These helicopters. I see this 190 flying in the police helicopters. Tell us who is entitled to use a police helicopter chopper. I see these MPs here to do it. Quite often, they land in the area, they land with the police. It's safe for me. They call him on the meeting, now the man lands a police chopper. So tell us, because this address has moved from vehicles to police helicopters. We are going to tackle this one on the plane, it is the next one. But tell us, who is entitled, because I also want to have a right. Who is entitled to have a police chopper? And what is the procedure? And what is the procedure? Because I quite often, we have been witnessing around, you call somebody for a Indian. I've seen some fellows here in the nation room. They very nice a police chopper.
Mr. Chairman, maybe higher.
Therefore, I so that I know how much I must pay you. Is that your son like you? Traffic. Who is in charge? NTR. Madam, tell us who is in charge of it? Because these are state facilities. There should be a criteria who in Uganda can ride in a police helicopter under which emergency. These days we are only two campaigns. Quite often you will see these. I don't want to mention yellow fellows. Get someone calling me that the yellow fellows are put their own helicopters. Which one? Police. I think police helicopters. And also official motorcade, state motorcade. So, Madam, tell us,
Thank you, Chair. The Commandant Police here who is around, he can tell us, then I can come in on the issue of payments.
Okay, let us Commandant of Air. You said Air what? Air Command. Next time you come here, this program. One if you are dressing this, you put on the necktie. You can't come here as if you are going to entire shop. You don't have DPs properly dressed, the PSs passes properly. These are uniform for you. You are saying I don't see a 6. Anyway, but for the first time, you continue to tell us. Only came with a chopper.
Honorable Chair, sorry for that blessing. I am Commander of Police here week. Police helicopters are always hired and chartered by the MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies at a fee. And that fee always serves as non-taxable revenue for the police. That money goes to the consolidated fund. But what happened to it? I'm not very robust, but that's the thing.
Now, that's why you in this school senior 6. What are they called? They're promos. They also come and hire chopper.
But also, is that the reason why we purchase this property for hire?
It
So
is
that
not.
we can know.
It is not reasonable for the package of helicopters. Helicopters also perform majorly police work. That is air surveillance, patrols, medevac, desk work, maritime and aeronautics, rescues, surgery and rescue, among the other exercises. So this classification of MDAs for revenue is an added advantage to either the police or the ministries. Majorly is through police work, such as rescue, surveillance, patrol, and police work or transportation of the police officers on duty. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, sir. Yes, I would like to know from the police area commander, why do you hire those helicopters to those outgoing CSSC promos? Secondly, how many helicopters do you have, and at what fee do you hire them? You hire them in Kampala, go to Masaka. Is there a different fee? If I fly in Kampala, I pay this. If I fly in Masaka or Hawaii or Arua, I also pay this. How do you charge? First of all, I'm not aware that these helicopters are here.
Okay, the accounting officer wants to address this issue. Okay, can you take it up? Okay, so now
there is a guidance to what's chargeable when you want to use police facilities, including choppers and boats. And there is a guide that's issued here, adjusted to inflation record and tax revenue sources. And the commander has explained that's not a primary objective for having these assets of value, but we extend to MBS on a case-by-case basis. So it's not that we are doing business of hiring choppers to raise revenue.
Supposing there's an emergency and the shopper is supposed to be used.
So the choppers are not hired randomly. We manage them and they are within the country. So we also prioritize what takes precedence over the other.
Honorable colleagues, I think part of us who is here is listening and not public concerns. Take them as very critical. It's your image. As you give out a chopper of police to them. Now let's talk about this aircraft. You bought an aircraft at a cost of $7.8 million. And this aircraft is called the Pladio P180 AVAX 11 Evo. This aircraft, which you bought at that cost $7.8 million, is equivalent to how much? It's a lot of money in billions. Get me the figure there. This aircraft, since you bought it in 2019. It has flown for only 117 kilometers since you bought it. Reason, it is incapable of landing on non-tarmac runways. That is 29 billion. So this craft aircraft, literally, the auditor says, is literally non-functional, it doesn't do anything, but you are meeting high costs of its maintenance. So the question that arises, with this helicopter, who made a needs assessment? This is the fixed wing. Actually, it's a plane. It's a plane. Who made a needs assessment that will procure a plane for police, which literally cannot land in the vast areas of Uganda, but you spend public money, and the damn stuff is just idle. You are meeting costs. I know the audit care is intended to say this, to justify why you want to say this. Sometimes I know why this appears in the audit report. Because either we monitored, I don't know, it was procured at that time. You are intended to sell this aircraft. So you are bringing it here as an audit query for us to say you sell the damn stuff. I'm not saying it. I'm not taking the word auditors. So what's for us the question is, who in the first instance authorized this procurement?
The assessment of what the people are providing as capability. However, because they cannot land and they are using it on an unlimited basis. And it's not true that we are exposed to this force in the top. We actually make this service so that it can become operational again. Because now we have
So you are saying it's not operational now?
No, sir, maybe service means it can fly and it's like you have the car.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, so that's what we are doing now. The disposal was the rumor and it came from Parliament being clarified. Not what we are planning to do.
But our most of the country are still married. So the new visa, where is it going to land? Apart from the new airport in
Land in Boima, land in Guru, land in Entebbe, and Soroti.
and the Kisoro. And I don't have to monitor this debate, but we are going to make a recommendation.
Because the one yes.
Actually, for me, I would recommend the disposal of this facility.
Chair, before you recommend the disposal, this was an asset. You rightly asked that you made an assessment for the purchase of this aircraft. But the way the PS is casually responding, to him there is no problem. To spend 39 billion and an aircraft moves from 2019 to 2025. Those are 6 years. And if it has moved for 117 kilometers, that means every year to move 6 kilometers. So if you get the 29 billion and divide it into 6 years, you can divide it. Divide it every month, every week, every day, and every day. How much the country has used on budget of 29 billion there. And yes, it is business as usual. For him, it's comfortable.
To move 6 kilometers.
Yeah, 6 kilometers. And that is why it tells you we have an aircraft here or your country. To him, it doesn't matter. So we start with it, even if it doesn't work, we have money, we can start with it. And it is the same person who cannot even provide a motorcycle to survive. Not even a wheelbarrow. So for me, I'm very uncomfortable with one of the chair for PS. So for such a matter, to answer this one, how many motorcycles would we have bought using this money, the 29 billion? Let's tell us, how many motorcycles would we have bought? So chair, this cannot be left as this.
Chair, to add on that, I would like to know from the police, did you personally go and inspect this aircraft where it is manufactured? Because my colleague is saying, that to answer the question, how do you spend a lot of money on such an aircraft, knowing that the conditions you have in Uganda is not allowed? Why did you buy helicopters? Why did you have to buy a fixed wing aircraft? Why did you buy pickups? So I have to make pickups in my district. Chair, we don't want to make it. Let the vote for what?
That's a question.
What was it vote for what? Yeah, now the one that cannot fly locally, where did you buy it? Yeah, if we are talking of hiring helicopters, and now we have an asset that is depreciating. You all know depreciation. I don't know what rate has been granted for its depreciation, but it is already wearing down. Why would this be one of those we will be hiring out there as we look for those who can particularly? Otherwise, the maintenance costs and operational costs for this aircraft, all of us can agree it's running out of hand. Let this thing be parked at the airport there and people do tourist use and so on and so on. Maybe we might recover something. We might recover something. Even the place is left. Because for all intents and purposes, this is wastage of public resources.
Yes, the big one. What is the city capacity of that aircraft?
What's the sitting capacity?
Answer the question properly.
To start with the sitting capacity, 14. Including the crew 14. So the crew is lower than how many? So the boat is the council that literally takes stolen people.
Who was the procurement of this land? Who was the procurement? Is he around?
Let me answer.
But who was the procurement officer?
Honorable Chair, the PS should not take us for granted. Accountability done by somebody else, that person would answer for themselves. So if they ask who was that person by then, you cannot say continue to all know. I mean, they are asking a specific question. If somebody cannot have to tell us money is due, sorry, but for me,
let me also give you parliamentary resolution. Last year when we were passing the report, they stopped us from mentioning procurement officer. We shall not be reporting and saying that Mr. So and so. So who is this procurement officer that procured this?
But with due respect, the procurement officers purchase doesn't satisfy also the question you put on them. Because if I want to...
You want now to determine which question that you put on table.
Chair, what you make it look like the procurement officer is the one who determines which...
No. Even when I want, who was the procurement officer? Why do you set yourself question?
Did you procure yourself?
Yourself?
No.
Who was the procurement officer?
I need to find out.
Sir, don't answer this casually. I think you are beginning to take a gas for granted. Mr. Chairman, you are pushing the order.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know the procurement officer that was there by that time. I can find out and get you. Because I need to be very clear on who was there at that time. I know the current procurement officer is not the one who was there.
But Chair,
I know you are my brother and a long-time friend. Don't take this committee for granted and stop giving us casual answers. It's the last time I warn you.
Chair, the fact is...
No.
I do not know.
Don't cross the line by giving us answering casually. Who was the procurement officer, sir?
Chair,
Now, I wanted to try.
I don't know the name.
You don't know the name? Bring that up. No, bring. I'm going to cross-examine you on oath.
I've got something
I'm saying, you see, the reason why you came with all these officers is to aid you. You cannot casually come, please, the minister is a stubborn witness. I'm going to write an oath on you and you begin to answer every question until the end of this session on oath.
Chair, with your indulgence, the fact that you know the name, I request that for this one you stay the issue of the oath, and it gives us the name. Just if he happens to behave the same way as we do proceed, at least to put him on oath. But for now, I request that because he has been really, much as he has been up and down, but for now you can. I request that, Chair, with the support of members, I request that you stay this and he gives us the names. If it happens to be the same one, we can just put him on oath. That is my request, Chair.
you have already made the ruling.
Yeah, you have made the
And I'm
ruling.
surprised that your wife is trying to challenge your ruling. Is it in the order? Yeah.
Do you want to?
I read the ruling for a motorcycle.
in stubborn witness. But if you continue to misbehave, I will immediately put you on oath. It doesn't matter how many officers you are. Even IGP I had on this day, rules are not so. I was like, yeah, we'll go to it. But now, so let's say, who was the procurement officer, sir?
Yeah, I've been told he's actually called Isaac Charigonda.
Is he around?
Now he's the Minister of Finance.
You see, this is where we want to go for these people. They create these wastages and are moved to more position. Who is Isaac who? CID? It's Isaac Charigonda today. By end of today. Query wastage of public resources. And from there, I want you to investigate this and give this committee a report in 2 weeks. And you have to give me a report by end of today, how far you have gone with getting that Charigonda. Is Charigonda? He's in the Ministry of Finance.
But Chair, you see, at the level of procurement, you are given what to control. But then somebody who had a technical question that came up with the standards of what should be procured.
We are starting, we are saying this was a clear-cut wastage of public resources. Somebody went to procure the plane well knowing to not function. 12-seater. Is it 12 crew? 12 capacity crew, including Naru. Crew members. If it was a fighter jet, we would say it's okay. But for aviation purposes, was it an ambulance or was it what? I spent 28 billion. This damn thing has moved to 117 kilometers. I think this 117 are just for routine service testing.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's there, routinely you have to fly it and sit it in the better. That route has not been functional in any way. And then gentlemen, let's move to another ministry. I just hope that from here he will give us the details of who else did what. And it's not an issue I'm ready to finish it up here. After that report, I will summon another committee. We are going to follow this to the latter. Because elsewhere it will be very hard for other lesser people. But you can't find this kind of wastage of resources. You buy a plane, it's there, knowing it cannot. He asked if did anybody go to inspect? Because inspection, did you do a proper needs assessment? Did you really need this aircraft? Why did it? In a country where you have areas, you can't pay your suppliers. You waste 28 billion. 29 billion. And you are a police force. Now let me now use your stick to hit you. I use your officer to investigate you. And no, not say you have to do it. They don't do it, you also have one job here. If you cannot investigate this one and say you are not useful, don't be part of my committee. Oh, for redeployment, they will send me. They will give me more officers here. Now there is 28.8. We talked about vehicles inspection. Now, I'm very reluctant to review certain things, but as a committee, we will look at this current section, heavily audited, but because of what I read, I don't want the public to know that someone. You know, somehow along the way we read and say, if we do this one, how will it look? As a committee, we are going to review the whole of this detailed audit on Canada. And if need be, during our review of your report, we will have to interact with the head of the Canada section. Is that okay? I know for what, you know, for what reason I don't want to review here. Well, what if I did a good job? Now, can we do 2, 1, 2, 3 with marine vehicles? Eh? Honorable colleagues, can we do the marine? I need to get your opinion. About? No, but Marine, yes, that's what I'm saying. But also for some 2.121 delays in acquiring land titles for surveyed land. Hello? Sir, you survey land and don't even have titles. And we spent 1.15 billion. Have you seen it? 2028. I observed that Uganda Police Force had surveyed 118 parcels of land by 2021 with the various parcels of land in the estates of the surveys. Cadastral surveys and titling ongoing. However, I noted that 3 years later, land titles for the parcels in question have not yet been obtained. I further observed that the Uganda Police Force had spent 1.1 billion between 2021 and 2022 on cadastral surveys and titling of additional parcels of land over the years before obtaining the titles for the initially surveyed ones, as shown in the table below. So we spent all this money and no land title. Deputy, much as it is in the accounting officer. Really, this is.
I think we have an officer who give us what we have in terms of land. But what I know is that there are some land titles that are acquired. But Chair, what we have to note is that we have almost close to 2,000 pieces of land that we have countrywide. And some of this land are given by the community using the gift deed. So sometimes we get the gift deeds, then we start the process of title. Others we procure, and then others we buy, especially the ones of.
How secure is your land? You know, the last time I was shadow minister, there was. Even where you have your headquarters, you are remaining with the 60 acres only. You know, we had the part, I think, what, who are again. It's a battle we have to carry on and we have to fight, including having an election with the president. When Conman wanted to take your lab, Sujui built you a lab for ballistic and forensic lab. And he was taking the whole land like many. I used to secure. And then there was a problem with that where you have those vehicles. For a man who converted the title then to 99, I think now it is moving to all that land for an African something, including the most convenient land is where you have the headquarters.
That is not free.
You're not free. Have you? Future group. But how can people overtake your land? Future group now has covered it with bonds and whatever. Where you had the vehicle inspection, is it still there? The vehicle inspection section, is it still there?
Yeah.
How much land are you remaining with? Including, because you see the police land, including the one in where they have an headquarters, they are losing it. Everybody has, some Afghan thing took over, future group took over, and I, you know, when I was the shadow minister, I followed it up in mysterious title, now became 99 years. I know the story. And I see more approaches. I pass there. Including now the one for vehicle, I see you are now very squeezed.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman,
The what?
Mr. Chairman,
For the vehicles.
you
can pick it.
Because we need to know how did that piece of land go to these people and yet only a small portion of land. How did it go? Do you have the legislature? Did you sell it out? What happened?
Another time I was passing, I passed to Spear. I saw a little bit someone demolishing off. Can you give back? I know the person where I built staff quarter. How much of that land is now?
Thank you, Chair. I'm Staff Commissioner of Police in charge of estates and land management.
The Uganda in charge of land. You know that.
So, Chair, I'll start with the issue of the surveys that were undertaken.
Let us start with the smaller one. This one we shall do. I know the survey. First give us a brief of how much of your land in that.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, Naguru, the police estate originally was 145 acres land. Over the years, it has been subdivided to take care of particular interests. Specifically, we have the matter of enough, who I think want first to come up that land. NAFRI is a UN agency for treatment of offenders and prevention of crime and treatment of offenders. So these were given land by His Excellency way back, I think in the 1980s. I don't have the exact date. They were given a piece of land which they were supposed to develop, have their headquarters and have accommodation and all other facilities, and also we loaned them some 12 houses which belong to Uganda. So over the years, this institution, because remember the lease is given by Uganda Land Commission, not directly by Uganda. So after getting the lease from Uganda Land Commission, they proceeded to then sublease Future Carbon and to Tanzania. Luasa, the company. That was the transaction between ULC, UNAFI, and those private entities. And I think Parliament has investigated that matter before. There was actually a report at least 2 years ago regarding that matter.
What was the recommendation of Parliament?
Well, the recommendation of Parliament is that we only seek to recover our 12 houses and leave in the 17 acres of land.
Are you sure? Which committee investigated that? That infrastructure. Because by the time I worked as the shadow minister for the internal affairs, we were actually allowed, as a committee, I was spared in that fight, that's what I know. We are actually saying even the military ownership should be brought under question. I think they are used, they are not constructed, because once they give their lease, comes with the purpose. If you cannot, did they add anything?
No, sir.
If all they have to brought a lease comes with the purpose you're going to do. Once you don't do that, it collapses. Now, what they did is to stabilize and then, actually they got a lease of 49 years. Then they stabilized it for 99. I know the story. They had a lease of 49 years, stabilized in 99. So which committee of Parliament produced that kind of report?
That matter, I think, was investigated by the Parliamentary Committee.
No, I was there. Mr. Chairman, I was a member who never investigated it.
Mr. Chairman, information, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
This issue about the Tabu land was investigated by this committee, and Professor was a member.
Let's go on that report. No, it was investigated by their team. I belong to the infrastructure committee.
And I know that those ones who are doing
I'm told now it was another committee chaired by Chimoso. Let me pack this issue and say if we are done and we are left with space.
There are two pieces of that. There is one for the house gested and then for the police.
No. The whole piece of land of police was one piece, Lago. And it was subdivided. The first group to take is that African something. To tell the truth, my investigation, I went even to Dr. Semogere, who was an internal minister by that time, and gave me a background of what he was supposed to do. Because he didn't have a requested for it, and it was given. Now, those fellows, once they got that land, promised, sir, there are serious issues here. If you haven't, I know where you are going. They are saying you signed the report that break our own land. No, she has the flight. She has the flight, she's late. Actually, she can disappear. So, then they began to submit. But what was mine? They had a list of 99. 49. They established for 99.
Their lease is 99 years. However, what happened is that the sub-lease for again 99 years after their lease and they ran they had less years on their lease than what
Can you do that? Because it's long since I interacted with that issue. So that's what I want. It's the one that gave the teacher group. But even since then, the land where they're doing their construction has contributed to shrink.
Share the land where we're doing the construction was at a certain point given to a private company called Industry. Oscar was given a 5-year lease, conditional lease, that was developed for us certain facilities, and then the lease will be opened up 99 years. Oscar Industry was unable to perform their obligations under the lease agreement, and this period expired. That's in 2013. However, again, which part of the subject of the investigation of the Parliament, they proceeded and acquired a 99-year lease on the same piece of land.
Oscar.
Yes. This is something we've been fighting for the last about 1.5 years. We calculated the land and then we petitioned the minister to have these cycles cancelled. The tribunal was held about a month ago, which they did not turn up to, and we believe that the cancellation process is going forward. So Oscar was, the original land we were given includes that island. This we talked about where they were expected, plus the section where we have the Iran hospital. That was the land that was given to them originally. The new title they merged with 2 years ago is in a slightly different location of this land. So that is what we've been fighting.
Chairman, on that, how many acres is that land? And what is the remaining?
Yes. Of course, after that, you have the 60 acre. The remaining.
60 acre, so you're referring to that particular transaction.
3 acres that are in land before
It was 140. Originally,
140 acres?
yes.
How many was taken?
17.6
Acres.
was given to enough. Another 10, about 10.2, I am not sure of the exact figure.
Sorry, let me tell you.
Another 10.2 where 12 houses under dispute now, between us and and we also gave 4.35 acres for the construction of the various houses. And 1 acre for the Iran hospital. However, that remains for this land, 1 acre.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Do you have any? Do you have
So as principles, you know what acres now?
About 120.
Wait. Good.
Yes.
The last time I interacted with you,
Yes.
during that debate of that letter, you are having.
So the 60 acres is what has been put up for that particular transaction.
You are taken away 60.
Yes.
To give away 60. The extent of that, did that collapse completely?
It collapsed.
So you should
Still have that.
you should give me a jota. Because it was a big fight then. And however, of the remaining, how much of it is not unfortunate.
So we don't have any problem in this land. Like I said, Nafri was actually given lease on the land. We also loaned them some built houses, which are still buying, but we are intent on getting the built houses now. We discovered, unfortunately, that they recently processed the title on the 3rd, but we're going to get it back. So that we do not have evidence in production.
Can you, for now, the whole story that this is and give us details of who owns what and resolution of the Parliamentary Committees and the current status of the land and whatever. Then we shall pick it from there, and if we spare time in our schedule, we will do an elaborate investigation on that land and make a report. Especially I'm alarmed by that 99 leads where you don't qualify. You can't lose what you don't have. And part of that, I think you should fight and recover that piece of land. It's in your interest.
So we're fighting to recover it.
But if police fights that way, then about wananchi. If the police force fights with that kind of pace, how about the wananchi in this country? Because the impunity can't start with the police. It hurts me. I'm not a land developer in any way. I'm not a businessman at some scale. But it hurts. And you are now, I passed there the other day, you are building one community after the other, no breathing space. Yet some other people, a couple cars are breathing. I pass where you are built, very good structures. But one after the other, I mean, it's like you are now constructing a kaslam of sorts. Do you have a master plan for the redevelopment of that area? Or you stand somewhere and say you can build here? The next building can also be here.
Chair, we have a plan for development that facility.
Attach it to your report.
Yes, that's why we intend to cover.
Yeah, you attach it to your report. Because the way anybody who is a land developer can see is like you stand and say we build here, CCTV cameras, we build here, this one, this building here. I don't see you having a master plan for the whole of that land. Like, and I've seen you could see sporadic the way buildings are kind. I'm not an expert, but I want you to attach a master plan for that area. Because my assessment is that I see you, a police, anyway.
Yeah, this thing is endless.
It's not endless. You see sometimes where this country has reached, I think someone more assertive needs to take over this country. This impunity, you need a Trump executive order, and they reversed in 1 month. These fellows managed to be the one who is cancelling the title and is too bureaucracy, and it can take another 4 years cancellation of the title.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that's why we do.
We have been on this thing year in, year out. The officers are changing. The leaders there are also changing. Now titles have been got again just recently, and yet we are talking of recovery. So yeah, let us come to a food farm such that this matter comes to a conclusion.
No, we are going to. That's why I'm asking for a write-up. We will review the write-up. Hopefully, because it's an election year, difficult to get time, because I want this committee to end work by, I'm working around June, and people are free to campaign. And then I say we meet after the campaign. So, but if we spare time, and I don't know, you are going to come from trouble. I don't envy you, but if we spare time, it's a matter of child. And I see now land 2.1222. I saw this land under dispute. Land at Kavaragala. What is about this land in Kavaragala? Sir?
The land in Kavaragala is land that police has been in occupation of since the 1970s. It was compulsorily acquired by the government then and given to the police force. We've had several attempts by private individuals to grab the land. I think that's what brings this query up all the time.
Yeah, but when I read land size,
In Kamalagala, that is where you have a police station.
Yes.
Yes, it's very prime land. The value of it is big. But this is what you have. The force says it was legally acquired through compulsory acquisition in the 1970s by government. All the beneficiaries were settled and the current claimants have been settled. Even those who have come along have settled them. However, you have not presented any documentary evidence to support this claim. Whereas the police doesn't have a title, boundary opening was done, the matter has been taken to court and is pending decision. The land is therefore encumbered. So I think you are on the verge of losing this one. When I listen to this story, this is the purpose of this audit and why you should sit here. Because I've tried to have an elaborate time to go through these issues. So I think this one is also under trouble. Let's go to another one, land located at Nakawa. Land located at Nakawa.
Yeah, this is referring to the matter of Oscar. I was clarifying.
Well, just clarified on. Then there is land at Palisa, police 1.8 hectares. Yes?
Yeah, the matter of Palisa has been resolved. There were a couple of squatters that had not yet been settled, and their final settlement has been done early this quarter. So we have full possession of this land, and all the squatters have been compensated.
Undeveloped prime land. You have one showing undeveloped land, prime land. You have Kireka Police Post in Wachiso. You have Nsambia Police Barracks. Let's read this. Kampala City Nsambia Police Barracks is located on the land, but occupied just part of it. The land is not fenced, and the part is underdeveloped or not utilized. The underdeveloped part is surrounded by big hotels. There is a risk this land will be grabbed or controlled. I think this is the big issue. One, I'm seeing two issues. One, Nsambia Barracks is located on this land, but occupies just part of it. So you have a part that is empty, and it's in Nsambia there. How much land is that? How much land do you have in Zambia?
Chair, Zambia land is comprised in two parts, actually three parts. Two of those parts, measuring approximately 60 acres, is land that we have on lease from the Catholic Church with an unexpired term of 31 years on one and 29 years on the other. That is 60 acres.
The remaining years?
Yes, the remaining years.
That what?
31 and 29.
29.
Yes.
Okay.
That is one part of the Zambia. The other part of the Zambia is 50.6 acres of land, for which we have title, and 50.64 acres of land, for for which we have title. Now, this land is fully occupied by Uganda police. The part that is not utilized that might be referred to in this report is the part towards there is a valley towards the Supplementary slum, which is a wetland, more or less. That is the only part that is unutilized, but otherwise, the rest of our land in Zambia, if you visit it, you can barely find where two people can pass side by side.
Is it fenced?
No, it's not fenced.
But I keep asking you. Let's put a figure to what you are going to do. Do you know what a decimal of land where Zambia is goes for right now? You're a landman.
An acre is going for 4.5 billion shillings.
Billion?
Put a decimal at about 45.
Okay. An acre is going for 4.5 billion. You have 50. Put that 50 times 4.5. Is it 2 trillion? Eh? No. Yes, put a figure, it will amaze you. And you see, if it was you would not put a perimeter fence. If it was just you own it that much, you would not put a perimeter because you know the value of the property you are gambling with. And I'm sure in Zambia, the Catholic Church will work extremely hard. It's 2.2 trillion. 2.2 trillion worth of land, and you cannot put a perimeter wall in the middle of the city. Even a mad person will not do that. I'm not saying you are mad.
Chair, that is what we are now doing. We are actually putting a wall all over our land. For example, now CAD, I think we have finished. We are now at Nakuru, and our plan is to.
Because it's amazing how you can have a 2 trillion property because it belongs to government, and this government this African government don't want to do on one. Things can happen, the printed very fast. And an investor comes and can do it to this barracks, blah blah. The proposals have been put forward. How are you? Because you see, what contingency plan do you have under the parcel acquisition to take hold of the Catholic Church land? Because I know now on market value, every other day that passes, it becomes difficult for you to acquire that land. And on the expiry of that lease, they will tell you in Zambia, walk away. And once that in Zambia walks away, you know what will happen? Even they will say you can no longer fit on the 50. Even the 50 should be sold and you go somewhere. I have been in Uganda, that will happen.
Chair, if I may clarify further, just as the Deputy Inspector General has said, we've embarked on a fence of our lands. We started with Nakuru. It's a fairly big project because we are fencing kilometers, not just a few meters. So Nakuru's fencing is complete for all the land. The next stop is in Zambia. Zambia will start with part of Zambia. Chibuli and Zambia are on one territory. So the Chibuli part has been fenced off. The two parcels are separated by the Chibuli road. So we fenced off the Chibuli side, the smaller part, and in the coming financial year we intend to embark on fencing Zambia.
I see Ginger here because it looks like all around in the prime areas, you're having issues. Ginger Barracks is located on these plots of land, and occupied just part of it, leaving a big part that is not titled. The land is also not fenced. Therefore, the land in question is being encroached on or grabbed. Officers, this is a sad story. That's why now you see the benefit of going through this report. I'm sure so many officers are not aware of these issues. And then it will be so busy chasing criminals to read the details of these reports. So what do you explain for Ginger?
Mr. Chairman, Ginger, Barara, and Arua, these are fairly large barracks as well, with the perimeters like kilometers. But of course, we've been constrained by funds over the years, but the plan is on to continue rolling out the fence to all these.
Yeah, but you see, I really want to roll out this brick mortar fence. But traditional means still work. Put in pan all over. It doesn't matter. Beautify them. Why don't you innovate? Make sure I have somewhere where I do my other private business. And one well cut can be very beautiful. Why must you insist on that expensive fence? This is Bararo here. Do they have those fences? Why don't you copy them? I hear some of them are in charge of this country. So why don't they, that knowledge from their forefathers, why don't they tell them to you that you can fence off land without necessarily using brick and mortar? Because for you the fencing off, situation is large. An environmental friendly project, you lack fire, okay, as a police force. You need firewood. What if you did across those? You insist in your own way that fencing means brick and mortar.
Chair, we changed to that.
Yeah, I'm saying yes.
Then in that country,
where we are going to be able to do so, for purposes of security, I'm not stopping future concern. I'm not stopping you. You can have young children. If you planted very good forest parks,